kidding me? And I want to give credit where credit's due here. Looks like Jonathan in the chat. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. As we have breaking news, Paul Brettel tweeted out, quote tweeting, Matt Zenitz, if I'm saying it right, the Packers had a second coaching role in the secondary to fill with Derek Ansley leaving. And Matt Zenitz put the tweet out, the Packers are expected to hire 49ers defensive backs coach Daniel Bullocks, sources tell at CBS Sports. The former Nebraska and NFL defensive back worked for the San Francisco 49ers the last 9 seasons, interviewed for the Niners defensive coordinator job back in 2024. So we got a young, up-and-coming defensive backs coach here, okay? And again, he's going to help. Yeah, it looks like they're expected to hire him, but it doesn't say what his role exactly is going to be, all right? So now let's pop over and look at the actual coaching profile here, all right? And again, we just had AI do this over on Gemini. So let's see what we can learn about our guy, Daniel Bullocks. Again, everybody do your own research here, okay? Sometimes this stuff can be wrong. I always try to vet it before we throw it up on our Patreon group. I'll make sure I get this into you, in for you guys here on the Patreon group as well. And Jonathan, thank you for bringing that to our attention here live on the show, man. You're awesome. Actually, he goes on to say, appreciate it, man. Love the channel. Keep up the great way. Thank you, man. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Packer fan total access. I would not have known that. I'll be up here uploading audios and editing videos while that news just broke. You guys let me know in the chat. This is fan driven. This is what we're talking about. All right. Daniel Bullocks is a highly respected defensive secondary expert who has spent nearly a decade coaching one of the NFL's most consistently elite defenses. On February 2nd, 2026, reports emerged that Bullocks is expected to join the Green Bay Packers coaching staff following a long and successful tenure with the San Francisco 49ers. Below is the chronological breakdown of his playing and coaching career. So playing career, check it out. From 2001 to 2010, Bullocks was a hard-hitting safety and a second-round draft pick who saw his playing days shortened by significant knee injuries. How many times have we heard this with these coaches, guys? So again, he spent 9 years in the league, looks like, all right? Let's go back to the college days now. From 01 to 05, he played for the University of Nebraska. He appeared in 48 games with 33 starts, totaling 226 tackles and 8 interceptions. This guy's a former second-round pick. If this, again, double check this stuff, guy. This is absolutely awesome. Coach Lynn getting excited. Green Bay West Coast. Let's get it, Coach, right? Let's get it. All right. He was a second-team All Big 12 selection in 2005 and a co-captain for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. All right. Now, NFL playing career from 06 to 2010. All right. So actually, he only spent 4 years in the league. Got it. So it must have been his entire playing career. Okay. So only 4 years in the league before the knee injuries caught up with him. So he was drafted 40th overall in the second round of the 2006 NFL draft by the Detroit Lions. All right. Lions picked him up in that draft in 06. He led all NFC rookies with 70 tackles and started 12 games. In 2007, he suffered a season-ending knee injury during the preseason. All right. In 08, he returned to play all 16 games, recording a career-high 84 tackles. And in 2009, 2010, persistent knee issues, including microfracture surgery, effectively ended his playing career after he spent the 2009 season on injured reserve. So again, those who can't teach, we talk about this all the time, right? Players, a lot of these coaches, Jonathan Gannon had his college career cut short by injuries, right? Bobby Babich, same thing, if I remember correctly. You get a lot of these guys that were players, and because injuries ended their career, they immediately go into coaching at a young age. So this is exciting, man. Now, his coaching career began at the collegiate level in 2012 through 2015. Bullocks began his coaching journey at the FCS level before moving into the FBS ranks. So he was with the University of Northern Iowa from 2012 to 2014. He served as secondary coach. In 2014, his unit helped UNI lead the nation in sacks and ranked 12th in interceptions. So he got kind of that small, lower level, humble start there at Northern Iowa. He then moved on to Eastern Michigan in 2015, served as the cornerbacks coach under Chris Creighton. All right. So he only spent 1 year at FBS, and then bang, he jumped immediately to the NFL. So that's a really rapid ascension to the NFL ranks. Jacksonville Jaguars in 2016. Okay. Actually, it says Bullocks has been a staple of the 49ers coaching staff during their most successful run in recent history. However, it started with the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2016. He served as an assistant defensive backs coach there. Then he was signed on and hired by the San Francisco 49ers in 2017-2018. He served as the assistant defensive backs coach on Kyle Shanahan's inaugural staff. That's all they needed to see. In 2019, he got promoted to safeties coach. During this span from 2019 to 2022, he coached the secondary that led the NFL in passing defense. In 2019, 169.2 yards per game was all they allowed, and they actually reached the Super Bowl. So the year they made it to the Super Bowl, he was the safeties coach. Now in 2023, he gets promoted to defensive backs coach. So not only is he safeties coach, he's also over the cornerback room, right? And later they added the title of defensive passing game specialist in 2024. During that time, he helped lead the 49ers back to the Super Bowl in 2023. He interviewed for the 49ers defensive coordinator position in early 2026 before the team hired Raheem Morris. So he was one of the guys that was the top choice to be hired as the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. Instead, they decided to go outside of the building and get Raheem Morris. I say outside of the building, but Raheem Morris, obviously, he's got a lot of background there with Kyle Shanahan. Everybody within the Shanahan tree, Sean McVay, all those guys, right? They're very, very, very well respected as Raheem Morris. So again, it kind of seemed like a finalist that our guy here, again, Bullocks, was a finalist for the defensive coordinator spot for the 49ers, although they went with Raheem Morris. And then, of course, reported on February 2nd, today, breaking news live on PTA, right, to be joining the Packers' revamped defensive staff under coordinator Jonathan Gannon. So, again, awesome breaking news there. Just a quick little breakdown there. Daniel Bullocks, highly respected defensive secondary expert who has spent nearly a decade coaching one of the NFL's most consistently elite defenses in the 49ers, is now going to be a secondary coach here for the Packers. I don't see an exact title just yet, okay? So what I'm going to do is just jump over to X real quick and make sure. You guys let me know in the comments, how do you feel about this hire? Get it in rapidly here, okay? So I want to get your all's take on this. I want to comb through Twitter real quick and see if there's anything else that we're missing. Looks like that's the only thing that's been reported up to this point is a secondary role, okay? Again, Matt Zenitz, the Packers are expected to hire him, blah, 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 blah. He was their defensive backs coach in 49ers, so it doesn't say what his role is going to be. So we'll try to get you that information as soon as it breaks. Bill Huber tweeted it out 29 minutes ago as well. Shout out to Bill Huber. This would seem to fill the last big spot on their defensive staff. So it sounds to me, guys, what this is going to be is Bobby Babich is going to be your defensive passing game coordinator, right? And secondary coach probably. I don't know if he'll have officially the secondary coach role, but Daniel Bullocks is going to be a second secondary coach. Kind of confusing, right? So that's going to be the guy that partners up with Bobby Babich. I love it, man. I love it. So think about how this defensive staff has come together now, right? I mean, just think about how this whole thing is kind of fallen into place. What you have is you've got Jonathan Gannon, who is a former. First of all, we wanted to keep Jeff Hafley. We all agree on that, right? We wanted to keep the staff intact. But that's the nature of the business. Jeff Hafley was so good, he gets hired somewhere else. So we go and get a former head coach in Jonathan Gannon, who had one of the top defenses in the league as the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles before he was a head coach. Okay, you go grab him. Then you go get Bobby Babich, who had one of, if not the best passing defenses in the league from the Buffalo Bills to be your defensive passing game coordinator. Derek Ansley decides, okay, they passed up on me for that role. I'm going to go ahead and leave. He does. And then all of a sudden, you go and replace him with Daniel Bullocks, a guy who spent significant time in the league. He's going to be respected in that locker room as a guy who played DB at the NFL level. He knows what it's like to have to deal with injuries. His career was cut short. I think players will appreciate that and they'll respect that, right? It's exciting, man. Exciting hire. So, again, Daniel Bullocks is going to be your new, most likely, defensive back / secondary coach. We'll get the exact title in time. So going to the chat again, Coach Lynn says, Green Bay West Coast, you love to see it, right? Soder pointed out former line. Authorized in the chat. Authorized, I guess I got it right. Love the hire. So he's on board, right? Here we go. Insufferable Packer Doug says those that can't do teach. Charlie Brown. That's right. You got it, man. You got to be kidding me. He says beat me to it, Clayton. I don't know what about, but I appreciate you being in here, buddy. Chad Inc. says fast riser. That's the big thing, right? Is like, I mean, he spent hardly any time. Was there 1 year where he stayed in a lateral spot? I don't know if there was, right? I mean, when you look at the coaching career, he spent 2 years as the secondary coach, right? So that was he stayed put for 2 years at Northern Iowa, and then Eastern Michigan. He jumped to Eastern Michigan as a cornerbacks coach, and then his coaching career in the NFL, assistant defensive backs coach in year 1. Then year 2 and 3, he jumped to assistant defensive backs coach on Kyle Shanahan's inaugural staff. So some would say that was a promotion from Jacksonville 49ers, right? And then 2019 to 2022, promoted to the safeties coach, okay? And then in 2023, immediately promoted to defensive backs coach and later added to the defensive passing game specialist. So, yeah, you're right, man. Fast riser, no doubt about it, dude. No doubt about it. Dave C in the chat says, I remember him from Nebraska. Got it, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's see here. You got to be kidding me. He said, did Raheem Morris not want him? This seems like a lateral move. I don't know if it's a lateral move or not. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You got to be kidding me. You know what it feels like to me? And I'm just strictly speculation. Some would say the same thing about Derek Ansley, right? Like Derek Ansley's leaving the Packers for what seems like, I think it's going to be a lateral move. Maybe he's going to get a defensive passing game coordinator job. I'm not sure. Kind of feels like one of those things that maybe when the 49ers passed up on him, they may have went to the 49ers and said, he may have went to the 49ers, he being Daniel Bullocks, and said, hey, man, can y'all let me out of here? You know, can I interview other places for a similar spot? And maybe they granted that. Now, Kyle Shanahan hasn't done that in the past. Maybe he's changed his philosophy. But I understand what you're saying there. You got to be kidding me. I don't think it's necessarily Raheem Morris came in and said, this guy's trash, get him out of here. It's probably one of those things of maybe he's got someone else in line. Hey, you're going to be staying put. Well, let me see if I can go, or maybe even a demotion. Well, let me go see if I can find a better opportunity somewhere else, right? So, yeah, we'll see, right? Dave C. Those who can't teach PE, summer school. There you go. Got it. And you got to be kidding me. Said I like to hire. I do too, man. I do too. So breaking news right here on the show, right? And again, thanks to Jonathan for breaking that news here while we were live. If you guys are watching this video back later, that's the breaking news. The Green Bay Packers have filled one of their final spots on their coaching staff, and that is going to be Daniel Bullocks, a highly respected defensive secondary expert who spent nearly a decade coaching one of the NFL's most consistently elite defenses. So that happened here on February the 2nd. Now, keep in mind, defensive quality control coach that we let go, who was the, I can't remember his name. That was a Waller, maybe, whoever it was. Obviously, Ball King, he's in Miami now, if I remember correctly. So maybe Daniel Bullocks kind of assumes that role, right? Maybe he takes over that spot. And I don't know where the pecking order is on those specific coaching positions, if you will. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments, how do you feel about the addition of Daniel Bullocks to the Green Bay Packers defensive coaching staff? Let us know if you like the hires or somebody else you like more. Maybe there's someone else that was internally that you wanted to see get that job as well. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future live streams. We greatly appreciate everybody tuning in today. Only planning on going 30 minutes. Here is the 56-minute mark, but hey, we broke some news, right? So appreciate it. Everybody hanging out. Do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Click the bell icon. If this was your first time tuning into Packers Total Access, we greatly appreciate you swinging through. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on these in the future. The channel's growing like crazy. And as always, the best way to support what we do here at PTA, if you want to do a little extra and join our community, and that's exactly what it is as a community over there, is patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. So I'm going to tell you what you won't get over there. You won't get people being smart alecks. You won't get people arguing in the chat. If you're looking for that type of community, not what you're going to find there. We got a bunch of people in there, just a bunch of buddies talking ball, throwing ideas around, sharing news that breaks. I'm finding stuff in our chat, in our Patreon group. Hey, this news just broke. It's hitting our Patreon before I even see it on X, which is really cool. Okay. So that's what it's for as well. So if you guys want to be a part of that, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. There's multiple tiers if you want to support the show and be extra generous, but understand $3 get you access to everything there. And again, it was just a way for people to give back to the show. If you're someone who, hey man, I ain't got the extra $3 to jump in a group like that, you're welcome here. The show will always be free on YouTube, and you're just as important a part of the community here as the folks over there. So that's it, guys. We will be back later today, I'm sure, as other news breaks, and we'll continue to dive into free agency, the draft, everything in between. In the meantime, we will see y'all over in our Patreon group. Again, my name's Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.